If you're watching this video and you're like, Janati, I am in high school right now, so this video was a complete waste of my time. No, no, no. Of course, I'm just not going to give you one resource that's a dead end. Be like, yeah, that's it. Hi everyone, my name is Janati and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I almost got my whole undergrad education paid for here in the US. So to give you a little background, I grew up in Bangalore, India for about 15 years of my life until grade 10 when I moved to Thailand. So I lived in Thailand for 3 years. I did grade 10, 11, 12 in Thailand, and then I moved to the US in 2019 for my undergrad degree at Lake Forest College. And then I went on to do my doctorate in physical therapy at Rosalind Franklin University. Okay, so now that you have like a little bit background, let me talk about how I was able to go to college for free almost for my undergrad degree, which was at Lake Forest College. So this was possible because of my high school. Like I mentioned, I went to high school in Thailand, and the high school I went to is called the United World College, and there are about 18 of those around the world. And the one I went to in Thailand was a very new one, and I didn't know what I was signing up for. And I was so scared, but so grateful for the opportunity because that's how I was able to essentially get a free education here in the States. So, the idea of a UWC is I'm just going to read out their mission statement so you understand what it is. It's to make education a force to unite people, nations, and cultures for a peaceful and sustainable future, right? And I can make another video of like what a UWC is, what it entails, how to apply, get in, all the different things. But essentially, there are about 18 UWCs, aka United World Colleges in the world. And if you graduate from one of these UWCs, you get to go to college for free because this guy called Shelby Davis, so grateful for him, has a list of 100 colleges. And if you get into one of those 100 colleges, he gives you about $20,000 to $30,000. I'm not sure what the exact amount is right now to go to school. And the school agrees to match his contribution. So essentially, everything gets paid for in a sense. In terms of the 100 schools that are on his list, I'll put a link down in the description so you can go check it out for yourself if you're interested. But there's anywhere from Harvard, Stanford to like Lake Forest College, the one I went to. Mind you, it is a need-based scholarship, so you'll have to show financial evidence that your family cannot pay for your education, and that's why the scholarship is going to benefit you. It like opens up so many doors, especially for people whose family literally cannot pay for an education in the US. But mind you, a thing that I didn't know that even though my tuition was paid for, there were several different expenses that I was responsible for. So make sure that you actually are aware of the expenses that come with going to college here in the States because, yeah, there's tuition, but there's board, there's insurance, there's taxes, there's a lot of things that come into play. And even though this scholarship covered a huge chunk of it, there was still a lot of expenses that I had to pay for upfront or like after that I did not account for. If you're watching this video and you're like, Janati, I am in high school right now, so this video was a complete waste of my time. No, no, no. Of course, I'm just not going to give you one resource that's a dead end. Be like, yeah, that's it. So this is from this part is if you are in high school and looking to apply to the US, ways you can almost go to college for free or like have your financial burden reduced substantially. So the first way is academic scholarships. And people don't realize how many academic scholarships colleges have because people are not looking for it. You know, a lot of colleges have department specific scholarships or like certain grants you can apply for, make sure you do your research and find these resources. And colleges are not going to just come to you up front and be like, hey, these are the scholarships. Some colleges might do that, but there are several colleges who are not going to do that because it's essentially offering free money to students and like it's not benefiting the college. So you see why they wouldn't do it. So like if you are applying to college, I would say the first thing you need to do is go through their websites and try to figure out what scholarships they offer. Two, if you can't figure out any scholarships or there's a lot of information and you don't know where to start, you can always reach out to their financial aid department and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help. And three, apply to scholarships early. A lot of people wait for the end moment to apply for scholarships or even apply to college, which I'm a type A kind of person, so I don't know how people wait. I just want to be done with stuff early. So I'm like, don't wait. Apply as soon as you can because these scholarships are limited and they're not going to wait for you and give the scholarship to whoever is applying as they apply. Second way is athletic scholarships. This is a very well known way people here in the US get scholarships or get school paid for is if you're good enough to play for a Division 1 or Division 2 school, you can basically get college paid for fully. Mind you, Division 3 schools don't provide this offer. So make sure if you're going down this route where you're trying to get an athletic scholarship here in the US, you understand what division your school is in. And just because your school is in Division 1 for football, let's say, doesn't mean they're in Division 1 for swimming too. So you have to actually make sure they're in the division that you want them to be. I can make another video explaining the different divisions too if people would like. I think that would be a good, interesting video. Third option, try to find scholarships in your home country. I know India has several scholarships they offer depending on like the field you go to or like the state you're in and different criterias that you have to meet. So make sure you're actually looking for scholarship opportunities in your country to be able to fund your education here in the US. The next option, which I really haven't heard anyone talk about, is starting at a community college and then transferring to a four-year university. A lot of people here in the US, what they do is get their gen eds at community college, which is essentially a college that's like not a full university, but like I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'll do another video going into it if people want, but like essentially what you can do is 2 years in community college and then 2 years in whatever college you want to do. So yes, it's not a free option, but it does help you to reduce the cost of going to a big university or like an esteemed university right off the bat, because paying like $60,000 for 4 years versus $60,000 for 2 years saves you a lot of money. So that's definitely an option an international student can look into, which I feel like not a lot of people know. Like I didn't even know what community college was really until I came to the US. So definitely look into that as well. And lastly, don't be afraid to reach out to your school if they don't have scholarships to ask for ways that they can give you a scholarship. For example, for grad school, they didn't offer any scholarship upfront to me, right? But I reached out and I told them this is my financial situation. What would make me inclined to come to the school is if I get some sort of a scholarship. And then they were able to do it. Like, even though it was a very small scholarship compared to how much I actually spent, still it was substantial enough where I was like, okay, like this kind of helps me, you know? Every dollar counts. So don't be afraid to reach out because there are definitely a lot of resources that people do have and don't talk about openly or like don't provide until someone asks for them. Yeah. So yeah, that was a quick video on how I was able to go to college here in the US for free essentially. Mind you, that was only my undergrad degree. For my grad degree, I had to take out a loan and pay out of pocket and everything. So I can make another video based on that too. Hopefully, I'll make more videos on these topics, such as how to get into UWC or how to apply to UWC, how I applied for college, how I applied for grad school, and basically my journey throughout being an international student. I hope you liked this video and found it helpful. I'll link all the necessary links down in the description below, so don't forget to go check them out. And if you enjoyed watching this video, drop a like, comment down what you learned and what you would like me to talk about. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below and I'll answer them to my best capacity. And know that this video is just for informational purposes only, and I've only given you what I have gone through in the process, and a lot of things have changed since I graduated high school in 2019. So I don't know how much of it is accurate, so I will link the UWC website, the Davis Scholar website, and everything so you can take a look for yourself. So thank you for watching today's video, and if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.